Well, there's a third type of array, and that's called the path array. This tool will array objects along a given pathway. That means you can copy the objects along a defined line, polyline, spline, or other shape. Let's open up our array example file. Now let's say that we want to plant bushes along the outside of this movie house. We have 20 ordered, so we need to plant them all equally spaced. Now the plants need to be planted 60 inches away from the foundation of the building. So we're going to offset the foundation 60 units. So I'm going to select the foundation and offset them there. So now we have just created a path for us to array along. Now I'm going to start the array command. I can type in array. I could type in AR, or I can go to the Home tab on the Modify panel and select Path Array. Now if you type in the command, press return, that's array, and you use the array command to start either the rectangle, polar, or path array. Then you select your object first. I'm going to pick this plant, press return, and now I'm going to tell it what type of array I want to use. And in this case, it's going to be the path. Once you've done that, you select your path, and it automatically generates your objects along that pathway. Very fast and very simple. Now remember, we have a few criteria. One was that they were 60 inches away, which we took care of with offsetting that foundation line by 60 inches. The other one is that we only have 20 of these. So we have to come up to the number of items, click on this box to activate that item, and tell it 20, and then click somewhere else. So now it will automatically put in 20 objects. Now we have a few options. We can tell it to align the items, give it a specific direction, or we can tell it to divide it or measure it. Now, what we want to do in this case, if we turn that alignment off, they're all going to look the exact same direction. They all look the same way. With the align on, they rotate as the line or the path rotates. That just depends on what you're going to want to use. Now the direction controls whether you maintain a Z direction for the items. That will happen with a 3D polar path. In this case, it's 2D, so it really doesn't matter what we do. Now here, with the measure option, we can tell it to divide, which will divide up a total number of items across the total of the path, which is exactly what we want to do in this case. Or you can measure. Now, the measure method will put a specific space between each item. So in this case, between, I can tell it 100, and it will put my 20 items in here at 100 units apart. But that's not what we want to do. We want to put 20 bushes all the way around, and there we go. So once you're finished, you just click Close Array, and you are done. Now you can delete this pathway if you'd like. That will not affect your current array. I'm going to leave it in for the rest of the exercise. Now when I select the array, it's an associate array, so I can come in here and I can make the changes that I want. I can add rows to it, change the distance between those, or I can change it by total. Again, I can add 3 dimensions to my array by adding several levels to it if I'd like. When I'm done, click on the Close Array button. I can select it, and again, I have similar grip edits where I can stretch out the number of rows that we have, or put it right back to just 1. And that's the polar array.